Okay, so now it is March 30th of 2025. This is what Andre seen yesterday. He brought me in a pack of batteries. Clearly you can see somebody opened up this one. He left this one here. Look at this. He told me that there's this stuff going around on the internet where people are making batteries explode or catch on fire with tinfoil. He said there's a peanut in here somewhere. He's seen a peanut. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't see no peanut. But the point is, somebody's creeping my yard, people. Well, we knew that was going to happen when everything got opened up. It's already been happening. Right? So now, you know, I'll take this. Mark Hank can come out here and, I guess, look around. Hold on. Okay, we're just going to do a little quick video. Before this was me recording somebody creeping the yard doing something with batteries and tinfoil, or at least tried to. And then that day, which was like 2 days ago, somebody came into the yard during the day and went into the garage and stole a bunch of crap. It was Sunday. I think it was Sunday because my son was home. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, it was Sunday. And this person was going from yard to yard, running around, grabbing shit from people's yards, putting them in the piles somewhere in the alley or wherever or whatever, to come back and get it later. And my son was chasing him around, trying to figure out who the hell did it. And that's how he figured out that this guy was just running around grabbing shit and putting it in piles and kind of hiding it off to the corner so he could come back later and loaded up Amari's stroller that's in the garage with a bunch of stuff and spilled gas all over the place and oh yeah, like they made it easy for people just to come in and do what they want. Okay, so anyway, oh, I don't even know what I want to say. Honestly, I'm so frustrated with this whole situation, people. You don't even know. My landlord came for rent yesterday. Andre took it out to her because, you know, I'm just feeling like crap, right? And she was supposed to give me a photocopy of that bill. She never gave it to Andre. She said she didn't have it. So I'm paying money without even seeing the bill, having a copy of the bill. So hopefully she'll give it to me. I don't know when. I mean, she can't expect me to keep giving her money without having a copy of the bill. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, she's gotten the bill, right? There's no reason for her not to have a copy of it, right? I mean, $1,900 is a lot of money, not including everything that I lost. Anyway, Andre took the money out, and I guess she wanted to do her little yard check. And of course she was complaining about the rocks in the planter pots that are just there, right? Because she just wants me to empty everything out on the ground. Some of those rocks I don't want to because I want to use them for, I'm so torn, people, like, you don't even know. Like I said to Andre, well, before we empty them out, we're going to work on the pond. In theory, right? In other words, we're going to put in a fountain and we're going to build in where it drops, like goes choom, choom, choom. And then you have a little pool of this and little, right? So that if you have, right, it runs the water and it goes, trickles over and trickles over and trickles over. Because, you know, I want him to learn, right? People to, you know, just to put it in his brain. through play and practice. And what I'm thinking after that's done, then some of those, like the real small little, I know it means nothing to my landlord, these small little rocks. Oh, just throw it on the ground. To cover up what? The mud, the water. You'd need a lot of rocks to make it so that it wasn't a pond on the side of the house there and the side of the house there. It doesn't matter how many freaking rocks you're going to put there. It's still going to be flooding or whatever. Okay, so anyway, and then she goes and beelines again to the back. Like, I don't know, like, this is stupid, man. And Andre's with her, apparently. And she complaining still about the back. Because I didn't move those planter pots yet, people, because I haven't been feeling very well. I just haven't. And, and it's been cold, and it's been wet, and it's been damp, and, like, I want to take Amari outside with me for a couple of hours, and, so I'm waiting for the weather to warm up a little bit, maybe, and, I'm still getting caught up with laundry, and I still got that stupid shit sitting up by the back door here in terms of that little green mountain. And I'm waiting for Rhea to come by to give her the easel and just whatever, right? Like, I'm just not, I don't want to go out and be a grunt worker for nothing other than Google Map, okay? Seriously. Because now she's in the back with Andre. And she's complaining to him that it's not good enough yet. And he says, well, can we keep the... And I guess she was telling him to get rid of this and get rid of that. As if I have no fucking rights here. Sorry, boo-boo rights here, okay? Right? A few planter pots. I mean, what's left in the backyard? Not very much, people. Like, I don't even have bean poles, okay? Like, this is stupid, right? Like, and what I want to do for the pond, what I could have used is gone now, in terms of making that little... I don't know, it's like a bowl, so that when the water runs, it hits, and then it, the bowl fills up, and then it flows over, and, right, so it's, you know what I'm saying? That's gone. What it was a sink, a little bathroom sink, that I could have used and then covered it up, but anyway, it's freaking gone. It's gone, and it makes me so angry that it's gone. Oh, you want me to go out there and do yard work, and you want me to plant vegetables, but as long as it just meets your criteria, where I suppose it looks good on freaking Google Map, right? Outside of, that's it. So she can put her $3 million price tag on this house and brag how gardens are you can grow gardens, buy the property, it's got a greenhouse, it's got sheds, look, there's gardens. No, forget about the fucking tenant. Just move in and have the garden for yourself. Buy the garden. I don't know. Because he goes, so she'd go in the back. She's complaining about the planter pots that I hadn't moved yet because I haven't gone outside because I don't feel very well. Just waiting for rent time comes, I get sick. Literally, I get fucking sick, people. Like, my heart just starts to palpitate. I get real tense. I start to get shaky because the gig is up, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? The gig is freaking up. I realize what I've been all these years to these individuals who have clearly taken advantage of not only me, but my family. And they think it's okay because the rest of their kind, when it comes to property developers, property owners that exploit the vulnerable for profit so that they can get rich and accumulate mass wealth for themselves while they run around and convince themselves that they worked hard all these years to get what they got, even though through that working hard, there was a lot of negligence. That's why we've got the word slum landlords, because through that negligence, what we have is a whole group of people that become freaking slum landlords that take advantage of other people, so that, right? Okay, and that's nothing new under the sun, because that's the same kind of crap that was going on in England in the 1500s, all right? So in the meantime, she's out in the back. I guess she's complaining that it's not good enough, even though it's been wiped out, right? And I suppose I haven't worked fast enough to get rid of the last few planter pots that are out there, because that's basically all that's left, right? As if it means anything. And he goes, well, can we keep the table? the white table that's out there? Now, get rid of it. Like, what the hell? He came in and he told me that. And I'm like, what did you say? We're not allowed to keep the table. Now, I told Andre this year, okay? Like, come spring and summer. My goal is to gut the X Club. We talked about that, right? I'm going to give Rhea the little child's desk that's in there. We're going to go through anything children on the one shelf. Probably give her a few things. Might give her a microscope. Whatever, right? Obviously, Jude and Andre will have a couple of microscopes for their, their little club that they're going to make with Mr. Lace's cat house. Or whatever, right? And I guess try and do some roof repairs with that leaky roof, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a yearly thing with me. And so anyway, and I'm going to take down one bookshelf because it's because that porch has been leaking ever since I moved in. And with that bookshelf sitting there for 14 years, it's rotting out from the bottom, right? Because it's always sitting in water because of the porch, with it leaking the way it is, right? So I have to take that out. So I'm gutting the whole thing. I'm taking that out. And then when I said I'm buying a piece of plywood, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to spend another $70. My son priced it out for $60. Oh, no problem. Just fork over $60 for a piece of fucking plywood to put over there. For what? When I had shit plywood and all that crap go in the freaking bin that I'm paying for. Okay? Some of that stuff that went into that bin, I need now, coming up this year, for those types of things. But I have to pay. Oh, okay. No problem. $60 plus tax, $70. Oh, my God. So anyway, she's saying, no, you can't have the table. I said, oh, well, gee, Andre, that's just great. Like, where does she get off in saying that, people? Because I told Andre we're gutting the X Club, whatever. We're going to work on Mr. Lace's cat. Gut that, and you can make it rat-proof, raccoon-proof, paint it, do the little vinyl siding, make it nice for you and Jude. It could be your little fort, quote-unquote. You can have your little freaking microscopes, and I got all these little science kits and boxes ready for you to do with him. Make it the volcano, grow the crystals. There's something there with little science and weather experiments or whatever, okay? He needs a table. But she doesn't want the table in the back yard. Why? Why after 14 years? That thing has been sitting out there for 10 years at least. Who knows how long it's been out there for? It's been out there forever. But now, all of a sudden, we're not allowed to have a table in our backyard, like an outside table. Those kind of tables, the plastic tables for outside. It's still holding up. It's still good. Right? And for what purpose do you want me to get rid of it? Oh, because you want Google Maps to be able to prop up your property value as you promote your funky-ass, ugly buildings that everybody on the freaking planet is starting to complain about because they're building the same kind of crap all over in the United States of America. They're doing it in freaking Australia and places like that. And nobody likes them just because they put the word luxurious in their advertisements. There's nothing luxurious about them. They're all complaining about how they're not soundproof and that you can hear people having sex next door or whatever it is that goes on in those buildings, right? You know what I'm saying? With crappy appliances and crappy walls and things aren't because it's, because they're not made. They're just prefab, bang them together with the cheapest of the cheap material, and then they slap on a high price on it because it's supposedly new, and people are now talking about it, people. Well, this is what we've got out here. That's why and how these buildings in the United States and wherever, 3/4 of them are sitting half empty or a quarter empty. I'm telling you, they're building ghost buildings. To as tax write-offs, as they're laundering money through these buildings. And people can't get jobs. Young people, they go to school, and they go into debt for, with master's degrees and bachelor degrees and all this other crap. And they're not getting jobs because they're all being replaced with freaking robotoids. Yeah, or automated AI. It's either automated AI or it's the freaking robotoids like that corner of British Columbia, Canada. As a matter of fact, I need to pull that thing's name up and start calling out its name and then put a fucking face on it under exposure to convince people that we've got people out here using robots as human beings to fool the human being into thinking that whatever this robot is doing is legitimate and deserves a paycheck by the taxpayers as they're falsifying death certificates. And then we wonder why people can't get jobs. What did you go to school for? Oh, to be a coroner. But you can't get a job? Why? Well, I don't know. All the positions are full. With what? Well, obviously another person. Well, are you sure it's a person? I can prove to you that it's not. By the grace of God, through my camera. By the grace of God, people. God warned us about this crap. Okay, so stay focused. So yeah, she doesn't want a table out there. So it's enough that you took so much away from me. You're making me pay for it. Not factoring in the financial loss of what I paid for to accumulate that stuff, to have that stuff, which some of that stuff I had before I even moved into this house because I worked on the nonprofit, but that's now in the bin. Okay? And now you're telling me I can't have a table out there so that my grandson with his little friend can do some kit experiments? Like this up here, I'll show you. I seen Andre grab the box. I got bigger ones like this, 2 times, 3 times the size. What's he supposed to do it in the freaking mud? On the ground with the mud? The dust ball? The grit? The sand? The weeds? Huh? Oh, okay. So anyway, I'm like, okay, Andre, whatever. I don't know about that. I planned on moving that table anyway. It's the fact that the way she's dictating what we can and cannot have in this yard anymore, people. Now that the main structures are built and they can advertise the sheds, the greenhouse, the garden beds, right? They don't advertise the walkways because they speak for themselves when you walk on them. All right? So that she can justify $3 million because she's holding out for that price. Because she knows it's just a matter of time before the property developer will buy all 3 properties and will pay what the people want, which is $3 million per property. Right? It's just the economy is lagging right now. Okay, so I'm like to myself, right? And this is the point of this video, like, why? What is your urgency? First of all, like, where does she think that she can just say, you can't have this, you can't. Okay, so you haven't hired me to do your yard work exactly the way you want it being done in terms of, I can't have a table for my grandkids to do, including Kyrie or anybody, really, to use outside of maybe doing something on the dirt. Okay? Right? Okay? So if we want to have a little picnic, we can't put our food on the table because the table was told to get rid of it, right? Even after all this time, what's the date today? April 2nd. She's still telling me to get through my grandson to get rid of my shit. So we're not allowed to have a table in our own backyard that I worked hard in for years and years and years and years and years and years so that she could benefit with bragging rights that she's got all these amenities when she puts her property up for sale. But we have to eat on the fucking dirt if we want to have a picnic. When I bring out food from inside the house and take it outside, I have to put it on the dirt. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Because she made sure that we didn't have a table to put it on. Not to mention anything else that we might want to use that table for. Is that what I'm paying rent for? Because she's sure the hell not paying me to do that. In terms of, you're only here to do yard work, Judy. That's it. You're only here to do yard work. You're not allowed here. You're not allowed to enjoy your yard, right? And if you do want to eat, you eat in the fucking dirt. You sit your ass down and you cook, or what? No, you put your plate and your glass and your bowl on the freaking dirt. That's what you do. Because you're not allowed to have a table in your backyard, even though I'm advertising the things that you built. So that I can get rich and you can get nothing except booted out onto the streets. And then everybody else that's got the money is going to sit there and blame you for your circumstances because you made bad choices in your life. You didn't work hard enough. Well, my videos are going to prove that I worked more than hard enough, people. Okay, because I'm working on my fucking playlist. And this is why I'm kind of mad, because this is bullshit. Like, so this is why I can't go out and talk to her, people. Because if she would have said that to me, and you see, that's the thing. It's not that I'm two-faced here, okay? It's just, I was taught to respect my elders when I was young. Right? So the moment I met my landlords, I respected them because, they were already in their 70s. And then they were my landlords. So just with the very fact, with those two things, there was an automatic understanding to respect them. And I've maintained on that. What is it called? It's not a principle. Well, it's a principle, but it's like a morality. Like a moral, right? You have morals, right? You have ethics. You have principles. You stand for something. Well, I stand that you respect your elderly, especially if they're in positions, I don't want to say authority, but a landlord is in a position of authority, so you respect them, especially if they're elderly, right? Anyway. Oh my God. So we're not allowed to have a table. Wow, that's just great. So we're going to eat on the ground. Any little thing that you want to do as a project has to be done on the ground, which is going to be either muddy or dirt or fucking dust or whatever. Okay. And I'm like, why? What's the purpose here? Outside of, it's like that city dude when he came to the house was telling me to get rid of everything because it wasn't about what I wanted. It was about what was going on in the neighborhood with building these fucking god-awful buildings so that they can promote them and sell them for investment, right? Because everything else around those buildings has to look perfect. And the only, and because of technology, it all goes back to Google Maps. So if somebody's sitting up in China or Iran or freaking India or wherever they're sitting up in those countries are Google mapping this address to buy the house because they're advertising it on the black web, because there's a whole bunch of funky shit going on in this place, so you never know what you might get. I'm serious, okay? Right? We don't know. Whatever happened to Shimei could be on the black web for all we know. We know Sierra was there, right? This is British Columbia, Canada. It's worse than Sin City. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, right? Or they're looking at this old folks building and they want to buy a ghost apartment to launder their money for tax write-offs, because it's going to sit empty, right? Chances are it will, because it's been sitting empty. And then they want to look over the surrounding properties and they see a white table in a backyard that takes away from whatever it is that people think is aesthetic, pleasing to the eye. That's the only reason she doesn't want us to have a table, people. Because she's thinking that it will increase her chances to sell and get more money. Because it looks aesthetic it looks better without the table. But she doesn't care if we have to sit in the dirt and eat our food there as we put our plates and cups or bowls or whatever, or do our little science project as we sit on the dirt, get all dirty. She doesn't care about that. Fuck no. And then she tells Andre that she's going to come back with some seeds. Because she already told me she wants me to plant food. And I'm exhausted. It's easier for me just to buy it. If I want kale, it's $4. I cook it up, I put it in the fridge. If I put it outside, I don't know what I'm going to get. Like if I try and grow it, right? You know what I'm saying? Get somebody digging around and poisoning the dirt just to frustrate me so I'll move, right? So I'll move so they can increase the rent because we don't really know who's doing it. We just know that somebody's creeping this yard and it's more than one person with different agendas, right? So, I'm going to plant food. Yeah, okay, as if I want to be running out there every second day, every day, watering shit. Spending hours and hours growing freaking food, and for what? I don't want to process it. I don't want to can it. I don't want to freeze it. I don't want to do anything like that. I'm exhausted. I'm too busy making food for Amari and trying to keep up with Amari and build on his diet, right, people? That's where my focus is. I don't want to be distracted. So I'm like really torn between, well, you can plant a little bit, Judy. Come on, shake it off. Right? You know what I'm saying? You'll regret it if you don't. But it will be easier if I don't, because then I don't have to rock no boats, right? I've got the wood chips down. Everything's nicely covered. It looks good. They can't hold it against me. It controls the freaking weeds. So why the hell would I want to clear out the freaking wood chips, get into the dirt, and start planting seeds so my landlord can go around bragging about how you can grow food because there's garden beds as she's putting up the house for sale and then threatening me again because I don't pay enough freaking rent. And I'm not keeping up with the weeds or something else in the yard. I got another planter pot there that she doesn't like. Like, what the fuck? And this is why I'm not talking to her, because I get so stressed out and then Andre comes and tells me this stupid shit. And it just makes me even more stressed. I'm sorry. I did my 12 hours a day from 10 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, day after day after day, year after year after year, so that you could have your freaking bounties. As I respected you, and what did you do to me? $10,000 deep, lost in things, people. Little toy trucks that I could have gave to little boys in my own neighborhood, for crying out loud. With love, not with hate. What happened, what you seen with what happened this last time around with the city of Surrey, British Columbia, Canada, was done out of hate, because I stand my ground. I am dealing with warmongers. Only warmongers do this kind of shit, and slave masters. You can't have a table? Isn't that something what a slave master would say? Eat on the ground, slave. Sit on the ground, slave. And when you're done, go work for me, slave. And after you're done, I'm still going to come back and whip your back. Not once, not twice, but over and over and over again. So, who wants to plant anything? Never mind water it. And then have to worry about it being robbed by somebody in the neighborhood. Or poisoned by people like Tamika fucking Johnson-Dixon. I don't. But I have to convince myself to do it. Even just a little bit. Not for them, but for my family. But my family's half dead already. With the rest of us facing homelessness, which will just push us further towards death. So where's the incentive to plant a fucking seed? There is none. It's a death of fucking seed. It's a seed of death. Because I sure in the hell don't benefit from it, and neither does my family. All that's going to do is put me back out in the fucking yard, watering every day, pulling weeds, being criticized because I have another planter pot there that doesn't look right, and it's not supposed to be there because I was told 6 months ago to get rid of them all. But yet you want me to plant and eat my food sitting in the dirt. And when I'm done, put my fucking plate on the dirt, not on a table. And this is what you want me to teach my grandson, that he's only allowed to sit in fucking dirt. It's bullshit. Bullshit. Total bloody bullshit. And I'm like, okay, go. She'll give you some plant seeds. Okay, it doesn't hurt to put in a few little plants. Get Andre to fucking water it. Well, I tried that with the trees. He doesn't like to water very much. And as for my sprinklers, they're gone. They ended up out in the fucking bin. Or in the metal recycling shit. Anything that was in the yard is gone. So what, do I have to go out and buy new sprinklers? What for? Do I care? Do I need to go off and buy more hoses? Because they're gone too. Remember the city of Surrey and my landlord? Both of them. Get rid of everything. Get rid of everything. Get rid of the water hoses. Get rid of the sprinklers. Get rid of the bean poles. Get rid of the fucking wood. It doesn't matter. Get rid of all the planter pots. Get rid of your fucking tools. Get rid of all your non-profit. It doesn't matter. Just get fucking rid of it. But go plant some fucking food for me. So I can put it up on Google Maps and brag about what a great fucking community we fucking live in. Bullshit! I'm sorry, boo 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 boo. Disregard the effing word, okay? Andre, you swear too much, Nana. I know. I'm 63 years old. I'm tired. I'm tired of freaking life. I'm tired of bad people. Bullies. Criminals. Scoundrels. There's too many of them walking among us that cause drama and hurt and pain and death. For money. Or power. Ego. Self-esteem. Anyway, now that I got that off my chest. So I'm at war with myself. Come on, Judy. You can plant a few things. It's not going to kill you. Well, I don't know about that. If I had to choose between planting or gutting the sheds and clear, like where my son has his stuff, I want to gut that out completely. Right? Do a good, spray it down and rat-proof it, and or if it needs to be, right? I want to do the X Club. I want to do the shed there. I want to get into the hen house area. I want to help Andre with Mr. Lace's cat house. I want to fix this shed out in the front. Oh, speaking of that, I said to Andre, and I'm going to end it on this, okay? Because not everything has to be miserable, but my life is fucking miserable, and I'm getting real sick and tired of it, people, but I'm trapped. I'm that little bug on this spider web where, you know, I got these big-ass freaking monster spiders that are definitely feeding on my family and have been for a very long time, as well as a whole lot of other people in the community. But in the meantime, I said, okay, Andre, if she wants me to plant food, okay, whatever, we'll deal with that when that time comes. And as for these rocks, I know it means nothing to her because she can just go to Home Depot and go spend $10 on a bag of rocks for what I've got, right? Because all she cares about, you know, those rocks have been sitting in those planter pots for 14 fucking years, and all of a sudden you don't want one planter pot on the property except unless you like it, and you want me to empty them all out just for what? Because when you walk by, it doesn't bother you? The only reason you're walking by is because you're dictating to me what I can and cannot do in this yard that I sacrificed my life in for 14 freaking years, blah, 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 right? So that, you know, you can come come back and tell me that after I've been basically robbed and I'm having to pay for something that I can't even get a fucking receipt for now, for whatever strange reason, right? That I should be looking on the bright side of things and planting food as if that's going to make everything go away and I'm going to feel good about my life, which I'm not, because all that does is require more work. And again, if I had to choose between what I'm going to do or plant food, I'd rather gut everything, either give it away, fucking sell it, throw it out if it's no good, or pack it away for when I'm ready to leave this place, right? Before I'm like running around out there spending my energy watering freaking plants every day, doing whatever, okay? So anyway, I said, well, if we have to empty these buckets because clearly they're a heat score, right? It gives them something to bitch about, because what other reason then for Google Maps? There is no other reason. And my videos will prove this over year after year after year, but because these buildings are going up so freaking fast and they're trying to sell them fast, they need everything around these buildings looking pristine with their flat grass, or what I've got in the back with no tables in the back, because it's a picture. It's not that you can use your yard. It's not like you can enjoy your yard. You're just working in the yard to make an image so that whoever is looking at the yard, as they're looking at the apartment to buy a suite, they'll be, oh, well, that all looks nice. The neighborhood looks nice. Yeah, I think I'll buy the suite, or maybe they'll buy the house, depending if they put the house up, because it's just a matter of time before they test the waters again and put this house up for sale. So they want to make sure everything is nice, pristine, right? No clutter, no riffraff, no tables, nothing, no planter pots, so that if the new owner buys it, wants to kick my ass out so they can move their family in and live the perfect little fucking happy life in the city of Surrey, British Columbia, Canada, they can do that because they had the money to do that, where my family ends up becoming basically homeless. Call it for what it is. Anyway, I said, well, before I throw those rocks on the ground, some of them, yeah, okay, but the ones that are being like right down to the nitty gritty, no, I'm not going to Home Depot to buy a bag of rocks any more than I want to go to Home Depot and buy a freaking, a rack of bean poles. You threw out my bean poles. Don't ask me to plant fucking beans, and if they start growing long and tall and want to crawl, well, don't ask me to go to Home Depot and buy bean poles, and don't ask me to scrounge around looking for, tree branches, because sometimes I used to use tree branches, but that was all taken away from me. So it's just another morning glory crawling around doing what it wants. I don't care, people. I don't. But I care about those rocks outside. Isn't that weird? Because I know what it took to get them. I worked for them. I cleaned them. I gathered them up. And she just wants to toss them around to cover up a water drainage problem and to make it look nice for Google Maps so that she can brag about how nice her fucking property is. So that she can get whatever it is that she thinks she's going to get out of it in terms of money. One way or another. And I'm like always reminding, you're 84 years old. Like, where do you think you're running off with this freaking money? Like, God forbid. Right? So I said to Andre, I have a Dremel tool here, and I'm fighting to keep these tiles, right? Because I wanted to do some mosaic. I'm going to leave it on this. I wanted to do some mosaic to give Andre the opportunity to learn how to be artsy, creative, for landscaping purposes, to build a mosaic border, right? A border of some kind with mosaic tile in terms of a pattern, however you do it, to make it look more nicer. So I said, I got the Dremel tool. I've been fighting to keep the tiles, arguing with Marcaine, arguing with my landlord, arguing with whoever, right? Some of them are still here, right? I'm still running around afraid to put things in the yard. Like I got this little green mountain sitting by my back window here. I need to get it out of here because I need to get down through the back. I don't want to, okay? And I'm afraid to put it outside. I'm afraid to put it outside. Can you imagine that? A child's little teeny weeny freaking tiny tight freaking play mountain for Kyrie and Alea May or whoever, if Rhea comes with her kids, right? Help me in the summertime, right? And Malachi wants to play with it, or even Aries wants to play with it. What? I have to hide it like a dirty secret in my fucking yard, like that stupid table? Because it interrupts Google Map freaking whatever? That's bullshit, people. But you want me to go out there and plant? You want me to go out there and water the plants? You want me to freaking weed and right? And then you want me to have a good attitude and respect you and say, yeah, go ahead. I don't need it. I don't need it. You go ahead, take what you want. Give to who you want because it's too much. What do I want it for? So I've done that, been there. I'm not getting back up on that freaking bandwagon. Hell no. Yeah, as you're asking me to throw out rocks that I specifically dug out of the ground and I had to wash because your plumbers came in there and ripped everything up, and then you came back and told me to start cleaning up and I wasn't working fast enough, so then the city showed up and put the whip on my back for 10 fucking months? Yeah, okay. And now you want to throw those rocks out after all these years because my life got harder and harder and harder and harder and I haven't had the energy to go out there and finish the pond, but it's so close, and now you want to take that away from us because you're always about trying to hurt us, control us, humiliate us, demoralize us, make sure that we understand that our position in life is to serve you and nobody else but you, right? Well, we sacrifice ourselves for you, even if it means we have to sit on the dirt and eat our food as we put our plate and cup on the dirt because you told us we can't have a table in our own backyard? That's bullshit. Andre, I have a Dremel tool. We're going out next week. We're bringing Amari outside with us. I got the whip on my back from my landlady who wants me to empty out planter pots with rocks that she has no appreciation for and wants to use just to cover up her water drainage problem so that she doesn't have to repair it. Where I want those rocks for something else because I've been working hard for the last 10 years of my life trying to build in something that could bring pleasure to human beings when they approached it in terms of a beautiful pond, and also give you the opportunity to learn how to build on some skills and get some self-esteem and be able to be creative later on in life when you're a man and life gets fucking hard and you want to do something. You will remember what I taught you and you'll do it. So guess what we're doing next week? We're taking out the Dremel tool. We need to find an extension cord. And we're going to learn how to use it. With the tiles that I had to fight for. So that we can make some mosaics to make a border for the pond. Oh, are we putting in the pond now? I said, I don't know yet. But in theory, we are. So far, we are. We're going to build in the fountain, right? I have a plan. I kind of know what I want to do. My materials are gone. What I need are gone. Thank you very much, City of Surrey, my son and Mrs. Gill. They're gone, but I'm sure I can improvise for what I want to do. If I have to, I'll go to the thrift store, I'll look for something similar, and I'll buy it, and I'll bring it back. I'll say, okay, Andre, this is what we've got, this is how we do it, put it together, then blah, 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 and then we've got the base, and then as we're doing that, we're going to make some mosaic art, and we're going to use it for trim, to decorate what we're doing, and then when it gets closer to the quote-unquote pond, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But right now we have to get rid of the tiles. Right now we have to get rid of the rocks because they interfere with the Google image. Yeah. We have to get rid of them fast so we can plant food so that with Google image you can zoom in and see the vegetables growing. And being that you can grow vegetables in a food desert fucking community that's being controlled by the Punjabis and their partner groups of whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? This becomes valuable because people want to plant their own food, but there's not too many yards left where you can do it, especially if they're nicely maintained. And that's what she wants me to do, to plant food, keep it nicely maintained, get rid of my shit so that she can advertise how things grow on the land, and it looks all nice and pristine, and therefore it becomes more valuable when she wants to sell it. Or perhaps kick me out in 8 months from now and then rent it out. And I'm like, okay, Andre, well, no. I'm not worrying about seeds right now. Yeah, maybe we'll start a few, but I think we should focus on the tiles and those rocks, being that there's a whip on my back with them, right? And do what I've been wanting to do all these years with them. I bought the Dremel tool and give it a shot. And while we're working with the Dremel tool, I reminded him that his mother helped me to carry home branches that have been sitting in that shed out in the front for years and years and years before they tore down all those trees when the walnuts used to grow there and they built that old age of old home, right? Okay. Anyway, that's to make walking canes with. I said, so since we're out there with the Dremel tool working with the tiles, because it has different bits to it, right? You can do different things with it, right? I said, well, let's try and work on some, like a walking cane. Because you can sculpt it out with the tool. It'll help you to sculpt it out. Right? That's just an example. Right? Because, you know, he's getting emotionally damaged from this, people. He's being conditioned to be a slave with no joy in his life. No right, to have no right to be creative and to build things. That's why she get rid of. It's like they want us that are not like them to be dumb and naive and ignorant and just devoid of personality. Right? I thought I had a cane here. I took it. I walked with it. It's over there. But you know how you have a walking cane and it's been grooved, right? Anyway, I told him, since we're out there with the whip, well, Nana's out there with the whip on her back, having to do things before I'm ready to do them, right? We're going to work on mosaic. So I told him to Google. I have books, but I don't know where they are. I just said, make a list, because I'll probably have to go to Home Depot and buy a certain kind of cement for it. And here's another thing. This is what makes me mad. Because it's a border to a pond, okay? The way I'm thinking is you get a piece of wood, okay? For example, you get a piece of wood, right? You put your cement on it, then you put whatever you're doing for your mosaic, whether you're using rocks, marbles, glass things, tiles, doesn't matter, whatever you're using, right? You make your picture, it dries, but I can't take that piece of wood technically without it being protected and place it into the pond, however I'm going to place it as a border to decorate it, right? Unless I can preserve the wood. Well, some of this metal sheeting, I don't think it's in this yard anymore. I think my son just got fed up and threw it all freaking out. I could have used some of that to insulate the wood so that once I put that mosaic, whatever you want to call it, into wherever I'm going to put it, which could very well be up against dirt with maybe plastic to prevent right? what I'm trying to say is the wood over time would start to rot unless, of course, somehow I protected the wood, which in a situation like that, I had those metal sheetings that would have been perfect for that, but they're probably gone. So that's what I mean, kicking you in the gut, right? Taking away opportunity, taking away your ability to get creative and to use the things around you, right? Or whatever, right? Just keep you doing what they want you to do and not what you want to do, right? So I said, we're going to do that. And then because we're using the Dremel tool, trying it out, at the same time, we're going to try out these walking sticks and see if we can. So I'll do videos on that when that time comes, right? And I'll empty out a few more planter pots of rocks, but I'm not emptying out the ones that are really, really small, because I shouldn't have to, people. Not if I'm going to use them. And I'm sorry, I haven't been able to do it fast enough. Besides that point, it's not illegal to have that stuff in your yard, especially when you've been doing the things that I've been doing all these years. Because a lot of those rocks came from that landfill. Not once, but twice, I had to dig them up and wash them. And now she just wants me to use them to cover up a water drainage problem. As if that's going to solve the problem when it comes to water drainage. And it will look good for Google Maps. Where the only thing that I can do is plant seeds. And water them. And convince myself that at least I can plant food. As if it means anything to me. At this point in life. When it's all it's going to do is take away the quality of my life. Because I'll be back out in the dirt. Running around for hours and hours. Doing this, doing that. While everything else falls apart around me. I don't think so. So it's going to be very hard for me to plant anything. And even if I manage to plant it and get it in the ground, I can't guarantee that it's going to get watered, because I'm sure in the hell not going to be running out there every day watering stupid plants. So that I can be told that, well, oh, I see you got this little green mountain here. Where did that come from? I thought that was all gone when we came in the middle of winter and told you to chuck everything out. Why is it still here? Well, I don't know. Maybe because I have grandkids, right? I suppose they don't matter, because as far as you're concerned, they're just a commodity. Yeah, clearly, when you ask your slaves to eat on the floor, in the dirt, in the mud, in the grit, in the sand, raccoon shit, or whatever, what are we? We're just a commodity. We can't even be treated like decent fucking human beings around here. Because it's just an image. So, hopefully we'll be making some mosaic and working on a fountain that we may never use. Right? But in theory, we're going to build it. Even if I have to go to MCC and buy a few things to make what is in my mind to make it, but has been taken away from me. With everything else that was in this yard that had a purpose. And maybe if I would have gotten more help, things would have been different, but that wasn't the agenda. The agenda was to build a case. Yeah, to build a case so that you can say that you had enough and that I need to get the fuck out so that you can raise the rent to $5,500 a month because you can prove that you can grow fucking vegetables on this stupid property. Well, I wonder how you can do that. Because you sure in the hell didn't dig up the land and made it happen. I did. Yeah.